Crown Resorts is losing money, senior staff and, perhaps, its biggest shareholder. Like the executive clear-out after the Banking Royal Commission, the gambling giant is being forced to change.
The fish rots from the head down. We can see that playing out here just as well as we could in the Royal Commission.
A New South Wales inquiry found Crown not fit and proper to hold a casino licence, after links to criminal gangs and evidence of money laundering.
The burden is a heavy one, but appropriately heavy. These venues are cash-generating machines. They're wonderfully profitable.
Not so much this year. Crown has been hit hard by the pandemic. Its Melbourne casino was forced to shut for months. Revenue has slumped and shareholders won't see a dividend. It reported a $120 million loss for the 6 months to December last year, which is 155% down on the same period in 2019, when its profits were nearly $220 million.
The corporate culture here was highly deficient, really needed wholesale review.
Crown's company secretary has resigned, joining 2 directors representing James Packer. The chief executive, Ken Barton, and former AFL boss Andrew Demetriou. Media mogul Harold Mitchell is sticking around to help search for replacements, despite breaching directors' duties on another board. And for a $2.5 million salary, Chair Helen Coonan is now CEO as well.
Let me be clear, there will be change, real change and important change. Everyone across the organisation, from the board down, is committed to reform.
Victoria and Western Australia's regulators have announced new inquiries after criminal activity was exposed at casinos they're meant to be watching. And there's a bigger change coming. One of Commissioner Bergen's recommendations is that people holding more than 10% of shares in Crown Resorts must meet the same high standards of character and propriety as the company itself. James Packer's company has around 37% of the stock, so expect that to be sold down.
With the limited number of licences and the governments across Australia indicating that they don't want to issue any more licences, this is one of the few ways that those overseas operators would be able to get into Australia.
Crown has tried and failed in Sri Lanka, Macau and Las Vegas. James Packer has also tried to sell his stake before. A deal with Wynn Resorts fell apart when it was leaked to the news. And the agreement with Lawrence Ho's Melco Resorts triggered the New South Wales inquiry, which has reduced the company's value to below $7 billion. The value of Crown is not in shiny buildings like the one behind me. It's in 3 pieces of paper. Monopoly licences to run the only casinos in Victoria and Western Australia, and the desire for a 3rd one in Sydney. Getting that last licence will require a radical shift from one of Australia's most controversial and secretive companies. A transformation the new board appear keen to make.